Welcome back to Arkansas Bigfoot. Great to have all of you out here with us again today. Well, this is kind of a red letter day in October for us, and we've got some special things to bring out here and leave for everybody. I'm not going to give too much of it away until we get there, so if you're ready to get after it, let's get going.
You know it.
Had a couple different people ask lately why we hadn't been back to Junior's little hideout log. And all through that intense heat of the summer, there really wasn't a whole lot of activity back in this corner of the woods. They seem to all stay farther back toward that boggy area. But we're going to head over there today, and we've got some stuff to set up and see if we can't entice some of them to start coming back up over into this corner.
Yep. Before we get too much further, I want to welcome Bitey, part of the family now, and hope that she'll feel welcome in our company. They feel very present today. It feels good. It feels real good.
If you watched last week's video, you'll know that we made a road trip up to Illinois. It was my mom's 92nd birthday.
Yeah.
Had a really good visit, and a lot of us got together and went out and ate dinner and hung out for the weekend and just had a big time. She's
Had a really good time.
doing pretty good for 92, all things considered. So.
I hope we're so fortunate. She has a sister that is 100. So longevity runs in the family.
October seems to be the month for birthdays, at least in our group, and it seems like we've got, what?
We have a lot of September and October as far as our family goes.
Out here, we've got Junior, we've got Quinn and Duffy's birthday.
Miriam's the 17th. I believe Quinn and no, I'm sorry. Not Quinn and, yes, Quinn and Duffy. I don't know what I'm saying. Quinn and Duffy is the 22nd. Junior, So 29th. So that would tell me that wintertime, like a little bit like for people, is a time for procreation.
My birthday's on the 28th, so
Yeah.
I guess we know what some
Nothing else going on in January for them,
February,
or,
yeah,
late
do the math.
December.
It was cold in February, that's what happened.
All right, there's the log. Let's see what's going on.
Well, we've got quite a bit of stuff we're going to set up right here, so give us a second and we'll be right back. All right, so we got the birthday treats all set up over here at Junior's log, and I think it may have been a little bit of overkill.
A little excessive.
A little excess, but hey, only happens once a year, right?
That's right.
All right, so anyway, the blanket was moved over there to the end of the log. It had laid on the ground for a long time.
We're just leaving it.
But a lot of the other stuff is gone. Used to be a little ball and a Spam can down here and some other stuff. And
I think
I'm
a shoe and
not seeing it. And it may be all under that blanket, but I'm not going to move it. Anyway, left to right, that big cottage cheese container is actually full of spicy cabbage stew.
Mm-hmm.
And it is really good, one of Junior's favorites. Of course, we got a few moon pies there, a dozen fresh brown eggs, a little bag sitting on top, and we tried this once before and had some pretty interesting results, but those are coffee beans, cocoa coated coffee bean. And we'll see if we get him on a little bit of a caffeine charge. A little more moon pies, honey bun, and that actually is a honey bun cake in that box.
They like that.
Some little cupcakes, bananas, apples, little cups of peanut butter, some peanuts, popcorn. Got the sardines in hot sauce and the little sausage bites.
Peanuts, yeah.
So that's what we're gonna leave back here at the log on this trip.
And hopefully Junior knows he's supposed to share.
We'll see.
So we missed the opportunity last year, so we're kind of, giving him a little extra just to make up.
Well, like I said, if you watched last week's video, you'll know we made that road trip up to Illinois and made some pretty good reconnections with things that, we experienced in our teenage and young adult years, and had a really good time with everything. So if you haven't seen that video, go back and check it out, the road trip to Illinois.
Good experience.
And I was talking to SoCal Forest Ninjas a couple nights ago, and he asked how everything was going after we got back from our trip, and said it was pretty good, but had something kind of, I don't know what to label it as, odd, unusual, kind of creepy maybe. But before I tell you about that, I need to tell you the prelude, the build up to it. Now, we had a possum that took up residency in one of the trees in the chicken yard, and 3 or 4 days went by and chickens were having their necks torn apart and just the crop tore out of them, and then the whole main part of the bird just left there, complete and total waste. So anyhow, 4th night into it, I finally caught him in the act, and obviously it didn't end well for the possum. So later that night, I had the shovel in one hand and the bag with the possum in the other hand, and I was walking down the pond lane, gonna go dispose of that possum. It was no big deal, but everything just kept feeling more weird and a little creepy the farther back that I went, and while I was digging the hole and got rid of it and walking back out. And then I was remembering last year in October and the year before that in October was the time that all the really weird, crazy stuff started happening. We got visitations by a few canine-looking things
Yeah.
out here, but it just felt like strange eyes were upon me on the walk back. I guess that's the best way to explain it. But that's the first time in a long time that I actually had that little bit of a creeped out feeling.
Mm.
And then I remembered a year ago
Good
and
time
the
of
year
year.
prior to that in October was when all of the stuff started really ramping up.
Yeah, October and November, November especially, actually, have always been. What is this?
A bunch of new little arches back through here. We haven't walked back into this corner for quite a while. Well, it took a minute to just kind of stand still here and look around. This structure and that big asterisk has been here for a while.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably been here for about a year. But I'm looking back through here and there's 1, 2 arches right there with some sticks leaning up against them, and a little bit more farther back across those old dead logs that I can see. So I guess they haven't been avoiding this area. We just haven't walked back here to check it out.
Mm-hmm. We notice that seasonally they work with different areas, or it seems they work with different areas. I don't know if that's the energetics of the ground or if it has to do with some of those same energies that start becoming present at different times of year.
Everything is covered in pine needles now from leaves and stuff starting to turn and drop.
Mm-hmm.
That you could walk through here and never leave a trace, like walking on a shag carpet. I'm seeing all kinds of little new arches and stuff that I hadn't seen before back here. Well, there you go. Follow the peanut butter trail.
Mm. Oh my goodness. So somebody had,
That was a whole party going on right there.
well, somebody had,
You got the peanut butter jar, what, 2, 3 bags there?
yeah, let's see. Here's a big butt.
Now this isn't the group of trees where the slinky and all that stuff were at before. I thought it was on down
I think it's down by the
that,
corral.
yeah, that direction a little ways farther. So yeah, that's a new spot.
They say they're called perches. I always call them sitting spots.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of really good broad places here. We found that sometimes we'll talk about something just like Ken saying they're not using this area or that area, and then they'll make a liar
And
just to prove that they
prove
are.
you wrong, yeah.
But likewise,
And that's that arch there is pulled down and underneath that other limb. And you can see what looks to my eye like
some kind of footpath.
foot scuffs in the pine needles. that's pulled down and under. Well, let us get up here to this other gifting tree and we'll be back in just a minute. Well, we didn't make it as far as that gifting tree till we ran into some more new stuff. There's that arch right there. And what caught my eye is another peanut butter jar right over there. They've been busy.
I think even Junior is beginning to practice more adult behavior. All of them, from the time they're little, will practice small structures or imitate.
Yeah, so there's that peanut butter jar, and if we would have walked in more or less a straight line right up through that trail right there, it's almost a direct path back to that corner where Junior's log is at. We kind of curved around it.
A lot of stuff going on here.
But the woods is changing. It's taking on its fall look to it now. Those limbs look different to you. I don't know.
Well, there's one that's fallen over there. So I don't know. Maybe. Makes me wonder, you know, we thought that maybe this number of limbs represented the number of individuals that visited the tree. But I don't know if if their placement means something specific too.
Well, let's go ahead and set this up and we'll bring it back in just a second. I'm going to have to keep our eyes peeled especially sharp. While we were sitting up the tree, the cloud cover came in and you could hear
Like,
three
I'm gonna do it here.
different sets of footsteps.
It was like a shuffle.
Yeah, like a shuffle going through the woods. I wanted to show this to you real quick before we move on. Said it looked a little odd to me around the tree here, and notice that limb, it didn't fall down on those thorn vines and limbs. It's been laid down and shoved under.
So we're...
And I got that little cedar tree that all of the bark is stripped all the way up about 8 foot up on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, reach up as high as you can reach.
So I'm
Yeah,
5'7". Yeah, it's pretty close.
Yeah, about 8 foot.
7 something, 8. But it's all... It's like...
We were finding those out here last fall like that, all the way up, 8, 9 foot tall. And it seemed to be the cedar trees especially where they would strip them down like that.
It's always neat.
Anyway, today, since we did so much up there at Junior's log, this tree is kind of in the middle. Got a big bag of almonds and popcorn and moon pies. There's some apples inside the tree there. Vienna sausages, peanut butter, sardines, and a banana. And that should be sufficient for this spot.
Yeah, maybe they'll share with them at the log too.
Yeah, there's so much at that first place, and we've still got more to take to the back.
Like between trees, you'll see a silhouette, and then I'll make mention of it, or Ken will make mention of it, and it steps back a piece. So
It's there, then it's gone.
But they're there.
First I thought it might have been a peanut butter jar or one of the wrappers, but I think it's one of those big white cat mushrooms. Yeah, that's what it is. Hey, you want to see something else that's kind of cool? You see the root wad and the big tree behind it and the little tree to the left of it. And it has been bent and pulled down and tied into those limbs right there.
It's tied to the vines.
Like knot work up there tying it all together with that vine hanging down.
I think it's tied to the vine. I can't tell.
But that structure right there looks the same as it did.
We were going to leave some things there, but I think we'll wait till the next trip.
I was thinking about using that big hollow tree in the back this time instead of the ones with the limbs on it. Mm-hmm. It's just something that I woke up thinking about this morning. So
Sounds good. Feels right.
yeah, when I saw that from the distance back there, I thought it was one of those peanut butter jars or a piece of popcorn bag or something, but it's those.
White. There's more up here.
Yeah.
Man, they're just popping all over. It's been a hot year, though. You know, and last year we had those orange flowers come up on either side of the corral, and they didn't show up this year. It's really odd.
I don't think what I'm seeing up here is a mushroom. Okay, that's that. I thought you picked that one up before that was crushed
we
in.
did too.
No, you did pick it up because I threw it away. That's another one. It's crushed in on the sides.
All their little stashes.
Now we have the helicopters all flying over. Hello, boys.
We have nothing on us that can be.
Now I didn't bring my phone out.
I didn't either. We've learned the hard way, but
Well, that sounded weird. And when I was a little kid, I was walking the woods looking for these, and it's a little late in the season for this to be happening, but there's
really late.
There's Mother Nature at work.
I don't believe I've ever seen them breed at this time of year.
Well, let me tell you about the birds and the bees.
Or Mr. Lumpy and Mrs. Lumpy.
Yeah.
He's like, do you mind? He's giving you the eye.
All right, we're not making dirty movies here. It was kind of weird all that cloud cover came in like that because it Wasn't any rain or anything in the forecast.
Well, you know, the sunlight creates those reflections off of them. It gives us the illusion of them being invisible. But, I don't know. We are going to keep our eye out because it's almost like they don't want that effect.
Yeah, this is almost like late evening shadow time right now out here, and it's not that late in the day.
Not at all.
All right, let's go get that other tree fixed up and get this wrapped up.
All right. This is feet.
What are you seeing?
If you stand here and look where they went up the hill, right there, that little spot.
Yeah. Well, there it is. There's footprints all up through that.
That's what I see, but tell me.
Well, I guess that was kind of a good call to want to use the Sasquatch tree, because look over there. Just about all of that's pushed down onto the ground.
Yeah, we better find out what's going on with that first.
Well, I'll go ahead and leave this around if you want to set that up real quick.
Okay. Ah,
Threw it right back at you.
the last time I tried to use this tree, stuff kept jumping toward me.
Yeah.
Down, I understand. Toward me, not so sure.
Well, the tennis ball's still up there.
Took. I feel stop. 1 minute, buddy. And then you can all fight over it. I feel like he said there's not going to be a fight.
Well, all of this is pushed down on the ground. That's almost like spite or something when I see it. Maybe my instincts walking back from the pond with that possum the other night were spot on. And this is the area that we were in when that, as all I can tell you, it was a canine thing that was too big to be any kind of a dog, wolf, or coyote. It was big, rusty, reddish brown, and came off of that little foot trail off of Skunk Island over there and stopped right in the middle of the dry creek bed, stared at us, and then took off the way it came. Alright, so like I said, we kept these two trees kind of simple today because we put so much stuff up there at Junior's log. We had a big bag of fruit and nut mix, some moon pies, peanut butter, sausages, sardines, a little honey bun, popcorn, and some apples in there. So you walk over here and look at this and tell me what you think. 'Cause to me, it looks intentionally like it's been all just knocked down. I was telling them this is just about where we were standing that night doing the night video when that canine thing
I just started to say what I was
walking
feeling was
out.
something spiteful. Is
Yeah,
the word I got?
that's-
Spiteful.
That's what I
And you know,
said.
the one time, and I'd almost forgotten about it, but the one time
And
We
that
had
trail that runs right up over the top of Skunk Island, that's where it came walking out at. We were standing up closer to that big hollow tree.
maybe
And
there's
stopped there
something
and
that
stared at us for a second and then turned
Turn
around and
around,
went right
yeah.
back.
But maybe at the certain times of year, with the veil shifting naturally, dimensional
Yeah.
doors, that maybe they have access that they don't at other times of year is what I'm feeling. But this feels spiteful, and we
what we
went
were
through that
saying at
once
the
before
beginning.
at the circle we found.
October and November are the pinnacle months for all this really, really crazy activity that goes on back here. Well,
I'll go collect the
a
rocks.
couple rocks are back.
Must have heard us fussing about it. But look at that stump. What's under this? It was just a little piece of stone.
Looks like it's busted down to me.
Let's see.
A sausage can laying over here.
I've got a couple other rocks that I'm bringing. Because these keep playing a disappearing act.
Yeah, now that wasn't
It is
here
busted.
last time.
No, it is busted. Right here. Well, they tried. They tried.
Well, that's tore out and thrown off to the side. Like I said, it looks like just purposefully, spitefully something
Shredding
trashing
something.
back here. A couple peanut butter cups there.
I don't think it's as uncommon as we might think, that they're kind of used to it. Maybe that's part of why they started working that front a little bit more too, is to...
Yeah, it's another
One of these.
something over there on the ground.
Peanut butter and a moon pie wrapper.
Well, let's bang on that rock and see if anybody's awake and leave them to it.
Yeah.
Gonna have to charge up all the IR lights and get everything prepped up, and we just got to come out here and sit for 4 or 5 hours dead of night and see what we see and hear what we hear. It's kind of got me thinking that's what happened a year ago. All that stuff started migrating through here, and it only lasted for a few weeks, and then it was gone.
Okay. So as I was saying, I'm going to go ahead and use these since they intentionally brought them back. But to let them and you know, I'll probably bring a couple as backup. All right, babies.
I got nothing. Try it again, quick, like bang, bang, bang. There you
There
go.
we go. Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey. Nap time, I hear nap time. They're cat napping, some of them.
Well, it is about siesta 30 out here.
All right.
All right, so I think that's going to be the game plan. We'll get all the stuff set up for a night sit-in. And we also need to go back there since these rocks are brought back and check that spot where you left all those gifts for Bitey and all of that.
Yeah, we do.
Need to go check that out on another video.
It's good stuff.
Well, we appreciate you guys tagging along today, and we will catch you next time down the trail.
Bye-bye.